Morning folks, welcome to episode 26 of the Christie handknitting podcast. I'm your host Eva and I'm coming to you from my studio space in Perth in Scotland. It is a cold miserable day today. It's absolutely freezing outside. The overall temperatures are on average lower than they normally are at this time of year. So everybody has got their heating on, they're trying to keep warm. It really is quite miserable, but we were lucky over the weekend there that the weather was probably a bit warmer than it normally is this time of year, which was great for Josh and I as one of our friends, well, a couple of our friends are getting married. So that was really, really wonderful to take part in their day. And yeah, it can be as miserable as it wants now really, but it's rather cold. And I'm run down, which isn't great, but hey ho, such is life. I'm going to try and do this without my glasses on today, but I do find the more run down I am, the less I can kind of see the camera and see what's going on, and if it is a bit fuzzy or it looks fuzzy to me, then I can be a bit put off in what I'm saying, so please be kind, bear with me today. You will find me all over the internet and all the fun places. I'm Eva Christie Handknitting on Facebook and Tumblr. I'm at Eva Knits on Twitter and I'm Pan Within on Facebook. And I've just got this weird thing that's just come up. No, it's gone from the screen, that's weird. Yeah, Pan Within on Ravelry. Did I say that right? Pan Within on Ravelry. Sorry, got completely waylaid there. We have a Ravelry group for the podcast as well. If you go into Ravelry, hit the groups tab and put in Eva Christie Handknitting, then you'll find us, and please do come along. That is the place that you will find all the threads, all the chatter for any giveaways and knit-alongs and things that I'm doing or we're doing, and you have to be subscribed to this podcast and a member of that group to be eligible for any prizes or giveaways. Saying that as well, if you're enjoying this and just want to subscribe, then please do hit the subscribe button, and also you can give that like button a little bit of love as well. Okay, and now the noise has started outside. It's Tuesday morning, it's bin day, they are running a wee bit late, but we'll just let them do their thing. Shall we move on into knit-along news? So let's start with the Glasgow Subway knit-along. I'll fess up folks, I haven't been able to find my book because if you're a regular viewer of the podcast, you will know about all the upheaval to the house and everything that's going on, and I do have everything noted down in a wee notebook. And can I find it? Can I? Expletive. No, I can't. But I have been keeping a separate tally ever since that kind of went AWOL. So when I do find the book, I should be able to bring everything bang up to date. I have updated all the lists as to who is at what station here, so I'm going to run through all that today. I'm back on the coffee because it really is that cold. Excuse me. And I've got a bit of a tickle to my throat today as well, so I do hope that that's not going to put too many folk off. Okay, Cessnock. We have Miss Katie Ann and Little Bee who are still there, and Woolen Flute as well. At Ibrox we have Carolyn Mack, Leela Spencer 15 and Vivacia Knits. We also have Mary Punk and Little Bush Baby and Luzel. Yeah, doubting what I've written down there for a moment. At Govan we have the Yarn Girl 900, Sam Glover, Bubby's Mom 77, Silverdale 11 and Mint Pixie. At Partick we have Whiskey Girl and Delaney 33. No one at Kelvin Hall at the moment, and Hecky Thump at Hillhead. We have Rainbow Ange and Ladybug Lily at Kelvin Bridge. No one at St George's Cross. At Kirkcadens we have Handbag Crazy, and at Buchanan Street we have The Yarn Goes On. I think that's everyone. Doesn't feel like I've gone through a lot of names there, that's a bit weird. Anyway, as far as I'm aware, that's where everyone is on the Cal. I'm probably round about Hillhead, Kelvin Bridge area, I think, at the last time that my book was available, the notebook, and I will find it. And I spent ages this morning turning my studio upside down looking for it, and I thought this is pointless here at the moment, especially when we've got so much going on, and one minute we're starting to unpack and move things about, and then we're having to repack and move stuff. I've just got absolutely no idea where anything is, so it's a bit crazy to get stressed about it when there's so much else in the world that is worthy of stress, or just does make you stressed out without me just adding to it, and I'm sure you guys understand. Okay, next up we have Socktoberfest, and I am thrilled to see so many of you lovely, lovely folk taking part in Socktoberfest. I thought I had everything ready for the podcast, and I don't. I'm going to nip off camera for 2 seconds and I'm going to get the prize, because I'm sure you'll all want to see that. Okay, here we go again. Hopefully that should be the only time that I need to pause this today. So Socktoberfest, as I was saying, thrilled to see so many folk taking part in it. Just to clarify, it's new pairs please, so you can use any pair of socks that you have cast on the 1st of October or later. The knit along is going on until the end of the month. I am co-hosting this with the beautiful Carolyn of The Next Beautiful Thing. She's got her own podcast, obviously, also on YouTube. You can participate in both groups or one. You must be subscribed to the channel and to the group that you're planning on entering though, so these are the only stipulations really. It's just standard stuff, folks, and I'm sure you can understand that we do have to just put some rules to live by, or rules to knit by, in these sorts of things. So here we go. This is the yarn that I've chosen to give away. This is Osterman Step, and it is very, very similar to Opal. If you're a fan of Opal sock yarn. I have knitted socks and shawls with this stuff before. It's lovely, lovely to work with. It's 420 metres, 100 grams, and yeah, it's 75% superwash wool and 25% polyamide, or nylon as it's also known. So it is a really, really good blend. As I always say anyway, if you are a vegan knitter, please don't feel that you're excluded from the knit along. I draw by random number generator. I find that the fairest way to do it. So if you do enter with some vegan socks and you win and prefer a vegan prize, then I am always happy to do a substitution. So just let me know. But anyway, that's the one. I don't think these have got colourway names from what I remember, but they do have aloe vera and jojoba oil in them as well, so that conditions your hands while you're knitting it and your feet when you're wearing them. So it really is amazing, amazing yarn. And the colours are just great in there. Right. The other knit along we've got coming up is one solely for podcasters. This is the podcaster festive sock swap that I'm organising. I've just got 1 or 2 folks still need to provide information about their shoe sizes and their addresses. And just for you guys that are watching, so that you're aware of what's going on, I think we've got about 14 participants, so 14 different podcasters agreed with me and thought it would be fun to knit a fellow podcaster a pair of socks for the festive period. So this is completely non-denominational, non-religious. It's just fun in winter when it's nippy toe season, really. Or it will be winter for most of the podcasters. I think we've got 2 Australian podcasters taking part, so for them it's going to be summer, but they've got something to look forward to. Yeah, so what's going to happen is everybody has kindly sent me their shoe sizes and their addresses, and I am only sending that information on to the people so that they know who they're knitting for. So it's being kept very quiet. So that means that all the podcasters that are taking part are going to be able to show off the socks as they're knitting them on their podcasts. And unless there's a slip of the tongue here, anybody watching, it's a podcaster they're knitting for who's watching, isn't going to have a clue that they are for them, if you like. So it just meant it'd be a bit funny, because sometimes I know that podcasters are doing test knits or they're doing certain things like patterns and they can't really show off what they're doing. I've orchestrated this in such a way that the podcasters can actually show on their podcast what they're doing for the sock swap, but it's not going to spoil any of the fun. And then when you get your parcel at the end of it, we'll see obviously who's made your socks for you, or you might just open them and if you watch that podcast it's going to register straight away. So that should be a lot of fun. I will be hopefully casting mine on in the next few days, maybe a wee bit longer, because I've got my mother-in-law's socks for her birthday at the end of this month to do first, and the podcaster I'm sending to, it's not going to take long to send theirs out. That's all I'm saying on that one. It should be fine, it should be absolutely fine. So we'll move on now. We've got no rehomed yarns at the minute. I am on a proper yarn diet, folks. I spent a small fortune at the Perth Festival of Yarn, and so I should. I'm now hand dyeing my own, so I really should be using some of my own hand dyed yarns. I've got a substantial stash, I think you should say. I do prefer sock yarn to other thicknesses, although I tend to use sock yarn, double knitting and Aran. Those are my go-to yarns. I do still want to get all my shelving in and get all the painting work and everything finished in this room. Everything will be properly out and I can see it, and then I'm going to properly do a stash cull. So sorry, there probably won't be a huge amount of new yarns to show to you in the near future. And I think a lot of the podcasters are kind of feeling the same way at the minute, that they're just feeling a little bit overwhelmed by stash. I need to kind of tame it a bit. We'll move on to what's on my needles at the moment. So first up, we'll show off my blanket. So I put 2 squares into my blanket this week. First up is this one here. This came in my swap package from Inga Rose of the Knitting Diaries podcast, and she's based in Iceland. She's lovely, she's a sweetheart. If you're not watching her, you definitely should get on it. And as soon as I opened the minis that she sent me, I just thought, I know that, I recognise that. I would swear that is Inga Rose's hand dyed. And it is. She put wee slips of paper in to kind of show me what they are. Here we go. Yarns from the Shire, the last days of summer. Your handwriting's beautiful, Inga Rose. It really, really is gorgeous. So I am thrilled to have a little mini of your hand dyed in my blanket, and the drape is just beautiful. It doesn't, it didn't say what the percentage yarn is, but I would hazard a guess that this is like 100% merino. The drape on it, it's beautiful. The colours are just fabulous, folks. Inga Rose, she has an Etsy shop, Yarns from the Shires. Get on her Etsy, go give her a bit of love. If you are within the European Union, the postage rates, really, the shipping isn't that bad. So I really would recommend that you go give her some love in any way that you can. And then I've added this square as well. And this one is 100% merino. This is Mothie and the Squid. So this is one of the 2 minis that I got at Perth Festival of Yarn, and I just wanted a couple of minis that I picked up there to go in my blanket as something special, as a wee memento of the day. Now look at all the different colours, it's just amazing. So I'm thrilled to add those squares into my ever-growing blanket. And remember that this is only one section of 4 that I've got, and they're all coming up to 5x5 squares now. It's crazy coming on, but I'm trying to put my blanket a wee bit aside this month to concentrate on the socks that I've got to do, and a few pairs of those socks are for gifts for birthdays or Christmases or other things that are coming in. Okay, what else have I got? I've got socks. I've got socks to show you. So first up, I really should finish this one. This is sock 2 from pair 7. And you've seen this in a couple of weeks already. This is where I was last time in the last podcast. I'm doing the toe shaping. And the only reason that I put this aside was I just thought tick tick tick, time's coming on. I'm hosting Socktoberfest. I haven't even cast on a fresh pair of socks for this month. And then I got slightly panicked about the mother-in-law's birthday. So as these are a selfish knit and they're for me, I put them aside and I cast on a fresh pair. So I really should dart back to those. Now, do you recognise this bag? This bag came in my swap from Inga Rose, who we've not long just mentioned. Look at it, I'm using it, I'm loving it, it's just amazing. It's a perfect size, it's full of stuff. I'm even using the little book that you gave me, keeping it in this bag. So this is another project that I've got on my needles. So here, socks. Socks for my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law is a carer, so she doesn't work in a care home. She tends to travel about to people's houses and cares for them in their home or within sheltered accommodation, or sort of assisted accommodation, and she's always running about during every day that she works from one household to another household. She's up and down off buses. Some people that she cares for are in wheelchairs, so she's pushing them around town, she's helping them get in their shopping. Very physically active person, never stops, very even rarely stops on her days off because she helps look after our nephew, which would be her grandson obviously. But yeah, she doesn't stop, and she feels the cold, and over the last couple of years she's had scarves and fingerless mittens in particular from me. She tends to wear leather gloves, and she'll wear fingerless mitts on. I think she wears fingerless mitts over the top of the leather gloves just to give her that second layer of warmth, and she's always looking for more pairs of those. But I just thought it would be really nice to actually knit her a pair of socks that she could wear underneath her big winter boots while she's about. So this is Drops Fable long print. I can't remember the colour name, and I don't have a tag in this bag with me at the moment. And this is the one that I was having a wee gripe about Dedamore's about, because it didn't look anything like the colourway on Dedamore's. Even knitting up, it still doesn't look anything like the colourway that was in Dedamore's, but these, they're not quite my mother-in-law's colours, but she is very green orientated. She tends to prefer the chartreuse like myself, but she'll love these. She'll love the fact that I've knitted them for her, I've taken that time. She understands the work that goes into them. She used to actually be a window dresser a good few years ago, and I just thought that was amazing. Here we go. So I've cast these on. I cast these on last Wednesday, so we're almost a week down, and if you consider that I had no knitting time during the day before the wedding, actual day of the wedding, and then I was so exhausted the day after the wedding, and I still am, that there's not been a huge amount of knitting going on. There's the reinforced heel. But nevertheless, there's some good progress going on there, and it's her birthday. I think it's the 20th. I'll need to double check with Josh, but they'll be done in plenty of time. And I've got another gift as well. That'll just go in with those. Pop this down. Now, what else have we got? I've got a finished object, but I don't have it here to show you. If you tuned in last week, then you will possibly remember the cross-stitched wedding card I was making for Laura and Alan for their wedding, which was a particularly nice thing to do, I think, because the bride had made all the wedding invitations, all the evening invitations. She made Oh, she made her bouquet and the bridesmaids bouquet and the flower girls flower baskets and all the decorations. Basically, if it was as her husband had complimented her at their wedding, he said, unless it's edible, I think that's what he said, is that the way he said it? Everything that isn't edible and that's been handmade has been made by Laura, and he was so super proud that she'd had that level of involvement in their wedding beyond, you know, choosing the dress, helping to choose the venue and all these bits and pieces. You know, she'd been so involved in it. So I haven't had any feedback from them, and I wouldn't expect it because they're on honeymoon now, but I think they'll appreciate the fact that I made a card. Excuse me a wee moment. Okay. What else is going on? I'm still reading Les Mis. You're going to be sick to death seeing this. I am now 39.7% through. I am getting a little bit more time to read. As it's getting colder, I quite like sitting down with a nice mug of hot chocolate or something in the evenings and getting a little bit of reading done, and I'm trying to get a bit... It's been difficult with having the Perth Festival of Yarn and then the wedding as well, that there's just been so much admin afterwards, so in the lead up and afterwards, that I'm spending so much time dealing with admin work at the minute, which is just the way it goes, and that's fine. Needs must, it's a necessary evil, but I'm not getting much off-screen time at all. So I'm really going to try and make a bit more of a concerted effort to get a bit more of this done. I would like to get to, you know, at least halfway through this novel by the next time I podcast, which should hopefully be in a week's time, but we'll see about that. What else is going on watching? I watched episode 30... No, I didn't. I watched series 31, episode 7 of Casualty, which is on UK BBC One. I understand that you can get it abroad, and I think some of you also watched that. Episode 7 wasn't as good as last few previous ones, but you sometimes find that there is a wee bit of a dip. Josh and I watched a film last night as well. It was his suggestion. We don't often kind of sit down and veg out in front of a film together, and he said, "Oh yeah, do you fancy watching a film tonight?" I was like, "Oh, okay. It's in about half an hour." Oh, right, okay. Can I take my knitting? Of course you can take your knitting. So I was sold. I left the choice up to Josh. He was just feeling a wee bit brain numb from everything and just wanted something that was frivolous entertainment that we didn't need to concentrate on. So he came up with Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I think that's the correct name, and I immediately went, "Oh, Andy Serkis is in that." That's okay. I do love Andy Serkis. I just think he is so phenomenally talented as an actor. Other noticeable films that he's in, because he seems to be getting a bit typecast now. I think he played Gollum in The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, and Gollum is obviously also Smeagol. He played Ian Dury in Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll, and he plays Caesar in the Planet of the Apes films as well. And these are the modern adaptations as opposed to the original Planet of the Apes stuff. But yeah, the level of CGI and stuff is just phenomenal, and he just seems to have found his niche, and he's so good at it. I've just been trying to catch up with the podcasts in terms of listening as well. They just seem to be... they're there all the time. Every time I think I'm making a wee bit of headway, another one comes, and that's lovely. But I do want to give extra love out to Christie, who is the Little Bee podcast, who just gave so much love to the Perth Festival of Yarn. I just watched her. I could see at the weekend that her latest episode had come up on the subscription feed, and Josh and I were just about to head out to the wedding. It was like, no! I just want to see what you're talking about. I want to see your yarn haul. So it was lovely, Kirsty, to see the footage that you've got, and they obviously had a great time. Thanks again for bringing Charlotte through. It was just lovely to have most of the clan there. It was amazing, and it was really, really nice to see how you kind of gone out and about in Perth as well, and to kind of get it for a different perspective, because there are a lot of people who live in Perth that are really quite down on the city, and these tend to be people that are kind of born and bred here, whereas I think if you've been an outsider coming in, or you're coming to visit, you just kind of understand that really it is a vibrant place. Yes, it's a city. Yes, it's been hit by, you know, the financial crashes and everything else, but really it's still it's a beautiful and vibrant place considering, and a lot of people don't appreciate what we've actually got here, which is quite a lot. And it is a beautiful place. You are more than welcome to come up anytime. I can be pretty flexible, so yeah, just send me a message, let me know. Haste you back. We're delighted to have you up in Perth and kind of show you some of the highlights of the sort of cultural things and the best places to go for coffee and such. So I think we're going to wrap it up there. I am meeting up with Tracy of the Lagom Felt Studio in probably less than an hour now, so I will upload this overnight. Tracy's studio is in Crieff. She very kindly came and took part in the Perth Festival of Yarn this year, and she was keen to have a coffee and a catch up. Every time I've been through to Crieff, because she keeps a few weird hours in her business, and that's fine, because you can do in a place like Crieff, and particularly when it's your own business. But she doesn't open on a Tuesday, so we're going to meet up, we're going to have coffee, she's going to drive me through, she's going to let me see the place while it's actually closed, so I'll get a special viewing of the place. Yeah, we're going to have coffee. I think we're going to hit the Red Squirrel Cafe in Crieff and just talk and catch up, and it's going to be lovely. And I'll hopefully see David, who's this boy, tomorrow as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing you, David. I'm going through to you this time. Look forward to squeezing Max as always, and yeah, I'll wish you happiness, happy knitting, happy spinning, happy crocheting, happy whatever it is you do. Look after yourselves, look after each other, keep warm. If you're in the UK right now, keep warm. It's bitterly cold. There's enough bugs going about at the minute. I think half the population's been knocked by this latest gastro thing, and it doesn't just go round and hit you once, it keeps coming back for more. So take care of yourselves, and yeah, I shall speak to you again really, really soon. Bye.